maybe he's asleep. Let's see if I can get this video recorded. I'm going to open this. So two things I wanted to go over. One thing is something interesting that I found out and started implementing a little bit more, that Opiuo uses a lot when he writes, in his bass and his lead and the plucks and stuff like that. And the second thing is the UZU VST, super cheap right now. AU5 just did a video on it, and I got through the first like 3 minutes of video and just started going ham with the VST. It's really cool. So if you like Opiuo, you like AU5, or like the sound design from them, then you'll like this. So I'm gonna solo. This is Swamp Belly. There's a couple things. So if you look at the EQ, there's the kick here. So we're not looking at that, but you'll see you have the sub coming immediately. It's hanging right where it should be. But if you look at the frequencies down here and the way it kind of moves, it's almost it has a very swing to it. It's like da-da, da-da. It's like, you see you have the secondary set of harmonics coming in one at a time. I wish I could slow this down. Right? And it's not coming right like 1, 2, right? It's kind of swung. And so one of the things I realized is, and there's a couple approaches actually with this. So I started trying to design, this is what I came up with. Not exactly the same, but pretty close. And what I did is essentially, there's 3 oscillators. If I have this sine wave here, of course, that's just controlling the sub, so it's like straight, and it has a very low decay, so it stops. And then these 2 are causing the sort of swing that comes after that sub hits. And then these, right, so you have the right? And this is covering the other frequencies in the highs because it's set to course 2. It's a saw wave. I think the other one's also saw. Yep. I just mess around with the phasing to give a different tonality, and it kind of swoops in. So you could increase either the attack or the decay, and then you have this guy, which is causing the secondary hit. Right. You can do the same thing in Serum as well, where if you have like an LFO, I'll pull out Serum 2. Let's just say you have 2 saws, right? And we'll just keep the level down and and make the attack something like this. Actually, this one will have the normal, and then this will set this. And so you can choose, probably should need a MIDI note. Right? Could have it go, oops. Maybe but you see how it like, this part here this is going to the level all the way up after. So if you wanted to do like that, or if you do a longer chord, there you go. if you're doing, you can also make like video game sounds with this technique. So we did like, let's bring this back up. You could actually also set it to the octave. And what's the matrix? The octave, we'll just have it go up one. We'll turn this guy off. And take that off. You just bypass it. There you go. That's how you make the video game sound. So you just set something like that to the octave. You could. So it's a very simple LFO, but yeah, you can do stuff like that. And to make the swing, you have more control on the LFO on Serum 2. With this one, you use the envelope to kind of create that. Now, in doing that, I also created, let me see if I have a bass. I've done it. This one, yeah. So let's just sound like. Oh, it's not using anything. Because I was trying. Oops. So in that same vein, you could use a alignment delay. If you stack maybe two serums or two operators or whatever, and you can basically create whatever sound you want and then duplicate it and set an alignment delay so it then does the same thing. Because what Opiuo is doing a lot of times is he has the same sound. It's just it happens one after another. Let's bring down the envelope. And then you can say increase the time. You see, and you're kind of getting a da-da, da-da, which is kind of cool. He does it in, he has a very popular song. So. Yeah, so if you really listen, you can definitely hear all that going on in that song. I also did the exact same thing here where I turn it on halfway. Which is kind of cool. It's like a different little, it makes it sound like there's two people singing. So that's that. And I'll be sharing out a lot of these presets as well on my Patreon. Some of these I already put out, I think. There's a couple good sounds here, right? I'll be sharing the drums out as well. I'm making some more kicks and snares. And then, right, the UZU. So I have a couple different things. So in the video that 85 talks about, he's like talking about flangers, phasers, shifters, and how it affects like the polarity of the sounds and the harmonics, like how it kind of like trickles down. So like a couple different options here. I'm just gonna put it so I can see it. Right? So like the phaser can go forward and backwards, right? And then the flanger just goes one way. And then shifter just kind of goes up. And now the UZU, let's see. Look at that. So if I pull this, so like it can just keep on going. And what I did is I basically took the Opiuo thing I made and made it into more legato and added this stuff. But let's just open up the a regular operator, and saw is fine, and I'm gonna solo it, keep it the same, legato, solo. Okay. Turn off the filter. Add a pitch just so it's less, not so boring. Why not? All right, why not? Adding some width. Anyway, I'll stop fucking around. Now if I bring the UZU, and this is just regular saw wave with a little pitchy guy. There's a couple of things. The AV5 goes through most of it, so I'm just going to go through this as fast as I can. That's kind of cool. So the speed will essentially dictate how often it goes. This is going the opposite direction. So you can do a lot of cool things just with that. And then the depth, is obviously how often it's happening. Now it's happening through the whole frequency range, so if you didn't want to mess with the subs, you can count this. And everything, it looks like it's not being affected anywhere around 200. There's probably a slope of it happening around here, right? But we'll keep this on. I think this is the intensity. It's cool. The width is like, I think, how many, right? Yeah. So like here you can see it's like one little guy. Now we have more. I believe this is where it starts. It's cool. And then this is how, I think it's how many of these? Yeah, you can see. let's anyway, I can get lost in that for quite a while. So, and that's just with the saw. So you can start fucking around with a bunch of stuff. You can put the OTT before or after the UZU. Probably have a little bit different results. And yeah, I'll put a bunch of these. Put a bunch of this stuff up, and yeah, if you get the UZU right now, I think it's like just I think it's like less than $20. So definitely try and get it if you like the way that sounds.